Hey guys, so I'm sorry this is kind of late, but I think that this is going to be the consistent post date, like either late in the week or the Monday that the next episode is going to air. So I hope that's okay with you guys. This week we're going to talk about Eyewitness. It's a Provenza and Flynn episode, so why don't we just jump in? And first off, we're going to talk about Andy Flynn. So he's an idiot twice, so that brings up the grand total to 3 times this season. I told you I was going to keep score. He's nervous about his daughter, and he's got high blood pressure, and so it'll be interesting to see where they go with this. It's good that he's getting pills for his blood pressure now, so maybe the cleanse phase of this season seems to be over, and now it's all about the stress that he's feeling with his family. And, you know, I can see where this could be a big thing, because he for such a long time, he was an alcoholic, and he's trying to, like, I guess, you know, he probably tried to fix that with his family, and I know in the closer they kind of mentioned some rough times with his ex, and so I'm actually wondering who's not going to let him walk his daughter down the aisle. Is it his daughter or his ex-wife? And, you know, it just seems it seems like a really tough situation, so I wonder how they're going to address that. I know that we're going to see the wedding soon. I just want to see how that goes. So the purpose of this episode this week was basically to showcase Provenza and Flynn. And it was perfect. I was laughing from beginning to end, and if you guys heard some barking, those are my dogs. Sorry. The humor was on point this week. It was just good. It was funny, I was laughing the whole time. Like, from the first moment where Flynn is just on his last nerve, and, like, at the very beginning, so it just gets progressively worse, and I love that. So, and so when he just slammed the door in Provenza's face, and Provenza's just like, oh, see what I have to deal with? Like, basically, the two of them interacting off of each other was so funny. And beneath that, though, this episode, you can see that they do have a deep, good friendship, because Provenza was supporting him, and, you know, even though he slipped and told everybody about his high blood pressure, or Flynn's high blood pressure, you could tell that Provenza is worried about the guy, and that they are friends on some level, no matter how much they get on each other's nerves and stuff. So that was good. I really enjoyed that aspect of the show. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it again because it keeps annoying me. And Emma and Sanchez and his googly eyes, and I'm so done. I was so happy that we could have an episode where it was Sanchez interacting without Emma and being competent and tough and himself, and she's back and she didn't even know his name. I mean, come on. She's probably been working with them for about a month in the show time. I mean, it's been, what, 3-4 weeks now? This is the 4th episode, so yeah, about a month, maybe a little bit more, and she doesn't know his name? Come on. And what makes it worse is he's okay. Well, he's not okay with it, but he's okay with it. Like, he lets her get away with it. It's something I'm continually not okay with. And the fact that Emma seems to think that the whole world is there just to work for her. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, you can comment in the downstairs if I'm completely wrong, that I thought that the district attorney's office and the police department were 2 completely separate entities, like checks and balances system that we learned in high school and government or whatever, like 2 separate different things. They just kind of help each other out sometimes. So why is she acting like she's everybody's boss? I don't get that. I don't like it. And she needs to stop being this. It's bothering me. Okay, Rusty and Chris. The whole thing with Rusty and Chris was adorable, because, like, the minute they walk in together, the team's just like, what's going on with this thing? I noticed Buzz was a little surprised that Chris was a girl, because he just was like, oh, and then he kind of recovered. So that was an interesting development. And then again at the end with Sharon's little story about her daughter dating guys in ballet class and how she had a really hard time dating guys from ballet class because of reasons. And I think, you know, they were kind of hinting in the direction that maybe Rusty is gay. And the bet and them snooping, because the snooping was adorable with the cameras and like the fact that they were watching them in the interview room was hilarious, but the fact that they were like Buzz was just panning his camera like, and we're moving to Rusty, but what does Chris say? What does Rusty say? I was just like, oh god, I don't know why I find that so funny, but it was just like they were just so into it. They were just so into it, and it was so funny. And then we got to see awkward turtle Sharon again, with her, you know, trying to be all subtle, but she's not subtle. Where she's, you know, sneaking looks out the window, like, what are they doing now? She's so nosy. Mary McDonnell is so subtle with everything she does with this character. Like, little looks, little, like, hums, and, you know, body movements. So when she has to jump out and, you know, pretend that she's doing something work and not, you know, spying on Rusty when she has to talk to Rusty, I just, you know, the little, oh, I gotta go do something, oh my god. The look that she gives the folder after she's done talking with Rusty, she's like, you can tell that, you know, Sharon is so used to having something in her hand that, you know, is doing something, like a document. She looks down and she's like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Kind of, you know, puts it down and goes back and spies again. And I really wonder how Provenza is going to deal with that month of civility. So that'll be fun to see if they pick that up in later episodes. So the case, and I know I kind of add like random stuff too at the end of these, but the case and random stuff are going to kind of go together this time, because I don't really have a lot to say about the case, and more I have to say about random stuff that happened in the episode. So this case, obviously, like most Provenza and Flynn episodes, if you've watched the closer before, you know that they usually have an element of humor in them. Sometimes the case is more important, sometimes it takes a backseat to the humor, and this is one of the times that the case took a backseat to the humor, because you've got characters like Lloyd and Champagne and the ringleader guy. Like, I don't want to say he was a pimp, because I don't think he was like a pimp. No, but it was just funny, like the stuff with the conversationalist jokes, like the way Sharon said give her a talking to. I was done, and the Triple X makes it classy and just really good humor, good solid fun, and very good banter between all of them. There was a great chemistry, kept the ball like bouncing from person to person to person and back, and that was just perfect. Great episode, good follow through with the humor, good team interactions. We've got story that can continue on later, you know, with this thing with Rusty and Chris, and the wedding coming up for Andy, the month of civility, just stuff that can carry on. And it was a good episode to get all of that stuff going. And again, with the humor, and everybody got in the humor. Buzz with his joke about when Chris asked him, how many people work here? And Buzz goes, about half. My mom caught that first. She was watching it with me, and she was like, ah, and I'm like, oh, duh. Then with Tao and his made in China gag about his hands, and again with Mary McDonnell being really subtle in her comedic timing. Like, she has really great comedic timing, but again, it's not over the top. And as much as I wanted to see her in kind of the craziness of a Flynn and Provenza episode, I was kind of hoping she might get a little over the top, but then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know, her character isn't over the top. It's the subtle things that make her so her. I mean, she's not Brenda, she's not anybody else, she's herself. And so she is more put together, more rigid, I guess is a good word for it, and more subtle. So her comedy is subtle, and I like how it was showcased this episode. That's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next week. If you have anything to add to what I've said, talk about it in the downstairs. I want to see some conversation from you guys. If you guys liked it, if you didn't like it, anything you want to say. Bye!